The Sinn 556IB and the Wempe Iron Walker do look pretty similar in terms of the dial, but are pretty different if you look at the case and at the technology and the movement. Is there any watch which delivers a better value for money or is technically superior? I had a deeper look and I'm going to tell you in this video. Hello and welcome to Watch Max's Watch Videos. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. Today my video is about a comparison between two watches which do look pretty similar and which trigger the same emotions on my side and which are a real eye-catcher with the blue sunburst dial, but which are also pretty different in many details. If you like these kind of videos, you like the comparison and you don't want to miss any of my future videos, subscribe to my channel. There's a link below in the video description and activate the bell and you're not going to miss any of my future videos. The comparison today I have split into 7 different sections in order to have a certain structure and discuss points which are important to me, but not necessary to anyone who looks on and sees that video. Point number 1 is the brand, the images and how well known the brand and the watch is. Point number 2 is about the case and the quality of the production and the effort put into the production. Point number 3 is the dial and the legibility. Section number 4 is about the steel bracelet and the respective clasp. Number 5 is about the movement. Number 6 is about the versatility of the watch. Can it be adjusted to many everyday situations? And number 7 is my personal view on the value for money. Wempe is a brand which is quite old. Wempe was one of the 5 historical pilot's watch producers during the World War II with regard to the Baumuster Type A and Baumuster Type B watches, and has a very long history in building high quality watches. However, nowadays Wempe is perceived as the house brand of a jeweler, and that's actually not fair since Wempe is a very old and traditional watchmaker. However, today's perception is a different one. If you think Wempe, you usually think jeweler and not watchmaker, and that's the perception of Wempe today. Sinn is a little bit different in that point. Sinn is a younger brand and Sinn is an exclusive watchmaker. It doesn't make anything else but watches, and it is not as well known as Rolex or Omega, neither in terms of the people who know the brand nor the image which comes along with the brand, but it is a dedicated watchmaker of good and quality watches, and over the last 20 to 25 years Sinn has positioned themselves with a lot of innovations of new techniques, partially exclusively built into Sinn watches, and thus the market perceives Sinn as a watchmaker while Wempe is perceived as a jeweler. So if we talk about the brand, the image and how well known the brand is as a watchmaker, this point goes to Sinn. However, for me it was a close vote. Talking about the watch case. The Sinn watch case is a watch case which looks pretty much standard. It has brushed surfaces overall, well done, neatly produced, nothing to complain about, but it is a case which is perfectly made for a sporty everyday watch, and that's exactly what the watch tells. I'm an everyday watch. You can take me in any situation, you're never wrong with me, and which means there is nothing too special with me which would disqualify myself for certain situations. The watch case is 38.5 millimeter in diameter, is 11 millimeter thick and has a water resistance of 200 meter and a sapphire crystal. The Wempe case in turn is a design which you can find at many watches which are definitely significantly more expensive than the Wempe, It is a little bit more exciting by the case and by the shape. And what it is done with a lot more effort with the change between brushed and polished parts, the face and the angle on the case, which moves from the case to the bracelet. So a lot more effort put into the watch. The Wempe has a diameter of 40 mm, a thickness of 9.75 mm, and a water resistance of 100 meter. Also equipped with a sapphire crystal. Due to the fact that the case is more exciting, a little bit more special, and the effort to produce the case is much higher compared to the Sinn, I give that point to Wempe. Talking about legibility, both watches have a blue sunburst dial, and the sunburst dial always distracts a little bit from the legibility. A clean and plain dial is easier to read, but both watches are sufficiently easy to read. They have a luminous color and are readable all night. The dial of the Sinn is a little bit darker, sometimes turns a little bit into a purple tone, while the Wempe always stays in the blue area and is a little bit lighter, while the Sinn is a little bit darker. The hands of the Sinn are a little bit wider and thicker. However, I feel the hands of the Wempe have a little bit more contrast. The Sinn comes without a date, which keeps the dial very clean. So I personally don't see a clear winner. For me, this category is a draw. The Wempe Iron Walker has a really sophisticated bracelet with a constant change of brushed and polished parts. The middle links are a little bit thicker and the edges of the bracelet are polished. The links are screwed with flathead screws. You have 4 smaller links to adjust the length of the bracelet exactly to your wrist size. So a really nicely made bracelet, which is, according to my perception, the best one I've seen in that price range. The clasp is extremely flat, and so you actually won't notice it on the wrist. This causes usage of the clasp, which needs to be trained a little bit, but once you've got used to it, it's perfectly fine. And all you can see from the outside is the fold-over clasp Wempe signed. Extremely good, a little bit shiny, but a really extremely good, sophisticated, thin bracelet. The Sinn bracelets can be chosen between the 2-link on the left side and the 5-link on the right side. The 2-link bracelet has a fold-over clasp. It is nicely done, properly made, but as you can see, with less effort and less sophisticated compared to the Wempe bracelet we've just seen. It is absolutely fair in terms of price. It is really good as you have screwed links, as you have a fine adjustment within the clasp, and you have a diverse extension on the 2-link bracelet. Really nicely made and a good value for the money. The clasp is a simple one, so not a milled clasp. The fold-over clasp is really fine. Oh, I think I've got the plastic still on it, so apologies for that. A little bit more sophisticated compared to the 2-link bracelet is the 5 or 5-link bracelet. As you can see here, it is not as thick. It has a hidden clasp with 2 pushers, which is easier to use compared to the Wempe clasp. However, it is a little bit thicker and not as comfortable on the wrist as the Wempe one. So, coming to the vote. In terms of functionality, the 2-link bracelet of Sinn's is the best. In terms of look and feel and functionality, I would say we've got the Sinn 5-link bracelet. But in terms of look and design, Sinn is clearly the winner. So I would say in terms of function, Sinn is the winner, and in terms of design and look and feel, it is Wempe. So all in all, I would say it's a draw. Talking about the movement is an easy question for me. The Sinn comes with a standard Sellita SW200-1. Nothing special, not much modifications here. It's a good movement, nothing to complain about, but nothing to talk about in particular. The Wempe comes with an ETA 2892A2 and a chronometer certified version and a power reserve of 50 hours. So the movement here is the better and superior movement compared to the Sellita as far as I'm concerned. So this point clearly goes to Wempe. Well, to make the judgment first, the winner in terms of versatility clearly is the Sinn. Wempe has a really good and sophisticated steel bracelet, however, it is a proprietary link to the case. We've got no adapters and no leather straps or other straps to change, so you're limited to the steel bracelet. There is no way to switch to any other kind of strap or bracelet. While the steel bracelet is extremely comfortable, the watch is limited to it. With the Sinn, we've got a multitude of options compared to Wempe. Talking steel bracelets, we can choose between the 2-link on the left side and the 5-link on the right side, and we can play around with straps quite a lot. Here I've got really colorful skull NATO, which is perfectly for any barbecue with friends or on the beach. And the blue 2-split Ulite band is also really great for the summer on the beach if you go swimming. Really nicely made, it really fits to the watch. You can dress up the watch with a brown leather strap, and with that, this watch is absolutely perfectly equipped for the office or semi-official occasions. With the darker brown strap, you really stress the purple dial. I don't like it too much, but again, it is absolutely versatile and fit. Value for money, not an easy choice in this part. The Sinn currently retails at 1,380 euro on the fine link bracelet and would have been my choice if I was going for a casual sporty watch, which is fit for many purposes, while the Wempe is the more sophisticated dressy watch. However, it costs 2,315 euro, has a better movement, the better case and the better bracelet. Hard to decide. I would say each is worth the money depending on what your value is and what you expect of a watch. Yeah, if you like this kind of videos, subscribe to my channel, look forward to the next videos to come. There's a lot in the pipeline and I hope you enjoy it as much as I will. Talk to you and see you in my next videos. Cheers, Axel.